Welcome, brave souls, to a journey into the dark recesses of rural life. As the wind whistles through the bare branches and leaves rustle ominously, we venture into the eerie unknown. The distant howls of unseen creatures echo through the night, painting a picture of isolation and fear. Today, we delve into 3 chilling tales sourced from the heart of the countryside. Each story, steeped in mystery and dread, offers a glimpse into the grim realities hidden beneath the serenity of farm life. Our first tale is a sinister dance with the unexplained, where a scarecrow takes on a life of its own. The second story plunges us into the depths of terror as we grapple with a beast that lurks in the shadows. And finally, our third narrative drags us into the cursed soil of a haunted land where the past refuses to stay buried. These stories are a stark reminder of the darkness that can dwell in the most unexpected of places. So steel your nerves and hush your fears. Prepare yourselves, for these are not tales for the faint-hearted. Our first tale takes us to a farm haunted by a terrifying phantom scarecrow. This is no ordinary farmstead. Nestled in the heart of the countryside, it has seen generations come and go, with myths and legends passed down from one to the next. But there's one tale that persists, continuing to send shivers down the spine of anyone who dares to listen. It all began with the appearance of a scarecrow. Not an unusual sight in a farming landscape, but this scarecrow was different. It would appear one morning, standing tall in the middle of the field, its silhouette casting a long and ominous shadow with the rising sun. Yet by the time the evening rolled around, it would vanish, leaving nothing behind but the whispering wind and the rustling crops. No one knew where it came from or where it disappeared to. It wasn't the work of mischievous children or the product of some prank. The scarecrow was eerily lifelike, its face a grotesque mask of burlap and straw, its clothes tattered and weathered. It stood tall and menacing, a silent sentinel amidst the waving fields of grain. And then, the peculiar occurrences began. The livestock, usually so calm, became restless and agitated. The dogs would bark at the emptiness of the night, their eyes locked on the field where the scarecrow once stood. The crops, once flourishing, started to wither and die, as if the life was being sucked out of them by an unseen force. The nights became filled with strange noises, a rustling in the fields, a whispering in the wind. It was as if the very air was filled with an unsettling energy, a sense of dread that enveloped the farm and those who lived there. The farmhands refused to work after sundown, their faces pale and their eyes wide with fear. They spoke in hushed whispers about the Phantom Scarecrow, the spectral figure that came and went with the setting sun, and the eerie events that followed in its wake. The farm owner, a hardy man who had seen his fair share of hardships, decided to unravel the mystery. He kept a vigil, night after night, waiting for the scarecrow to appear. But it was on a moonless night that he finally saw it. There, in the middle of the field, the scarecrow stood, its figure illuminated by the faint starlight. As he approached, a chill ran down his spine. The air around him grew colder and an inexplicable fear gripped him, but nothing could have prepared him for what happened next. The scarecrow turned its head and looked at him. It was a gaze that seemed to penetrate his soul, a gaze that was chillingly alive. He fled, his heart pounding in his chest, the scarecrow's silent stare etched into his mind. And so, the Phantom Scarecrow continues to haunt the old farm, a chilling reminder of the unexplainable. It appears and disappears at will, its presence bringing with it a series of strange occurrences and a sense of dread that hangs heavy in the air. It stands as a silent sentinel, a specter from a world beyond our understanding, a phantom scarecrow that continues to haunt the landscape and the minds of those who dare to speak its name. Our next tale unfolds on a farm plagued by an unseen beast. Imagine a farm in the heart of the countryside, a peaceful haven disturbed by a mysterious entity. A place where the harmony of nature is broken by an unseen terror, an unseen beast that wreaks havoc and leaves a trail of fear in its wake. The farm, once a symbol of tranquility and abundance, was now a place of dread. Crops were destroyed overnight. Livestock vanished without a trace, and eerie sounds echoed through the once peaceful nights. This was not the work of a common predator. Something far more sinister was at play. The farmers, once proud custodians of the land, were now held captive by their own fear. Desperation filled their hearts as they tried to understand the unseen force terrorizing their livelihood. They sought help from local authorities, but nothing seemed to stop the unseen beast. The fear grew, the terror intensified, and the mystery deepened. Days turned into weeks, and the unseen beast continued its reign of terror. The farmers, drained of hope and fraught with fear, decided to take matters into their own hands. Armed with courage and desperation, they embarked on an overnight vigil, hoping to catch a glimpse of their tormentor. As the moon cast long shadows over the ravaged land, the farmers waited in anticipation. The eerie silence of the night was broken by a chilling sound, a sound that sent shivers down their spines. It was the unseen beast, ready to strike again. The farmers followed the sound, their hearts pounding with fear and adrenaline, and then they saw it. The shocking revelation of what was behind it all. It was not a beast, not a supernatural entity. It was a pack of wild animals, driven to the farm by deforestation and starvation. The unseen beast was, in fact, a desperate struggle for survival. The terror may have subsided, but the revelation was a stark reminder of the delicate balance of nature. It was a lesson learned in the hardest way possible, a lesson about the consequences of encroachment and habitat destruction. The unseen beast may have been discovered, but the terror it instilled will never be forgotten. The story of the unseen beast is a chilling reminder of the mysteries that can unfold in the heart of the countryside and the harsh realities that lurk behind them. A tale of fear, desperation, and shocking revelations, it is a testament to the enduring spirit of the farmers and the unfathomable mysteries of nature. Our final tale brings us to a land believed to be cursed. In the heart of the countryside, shrouded in an air of mystery and dread, lay a farm that had borne witness to a string of unfortunate events and tragedies. This was no ordinary farmland. Locals whispered of its ominous past, casting furtive glances as they passed by its deserted fields. This was a place that carried the weight of chilling legends and horrifying tales that had seeped into its soil, creating a chilling atmosphere that hung heavily around it. The farm was once a flourishing center of activity, its fields ripe with bountiful harvests. But a series of inexplicable misfortunes began to plague the land. Crops failed year after year, livestock perished in unexplained circumstances, and the once thriving farmstead was reduced to a shell of its former glory. The locals began to murmur of a curse, a dark shadow that hung over the land, tainting everything it touched. The chilling legends surrounding the farm were as old as the land itself. It was said that the farm was built upon an ancient burial ground, its foundations disturbing the eternal rest of an old civilization. The spirits, disturbed and angered, were believed to have cast a curse upon the land. The farm was shunned, its fields lay barren, and it was left to the mercy of the elements. But the true horror unfolded when a brave, but perhaps foolhardy family decided to settle on the cursed land. They were outsiders, unaware of the local law and the chilling tales that clung to the farm like a shroud. They saw an opportunity in the deserted land and decided to breathe life back into it. But the land had other plans. Within months of their arrival, the family was beset by a series of horrifying events. Their livestock began to die, one by one, under mysterious circumstances. Their crops withered and died, no matter how much they toiled. Strange occurrences began to happen. Unseen forces seemed to move objects, doors would slam shut on their own, and chilling whispers filled the air at night. The family was terrified. Their dream of a peaceful rural life turned into a nightmare. The final straw came when their youngest child vanished without a trace one fateful night. A frantic search yielded no clues, no signs of where the child had gone. The family, heartbroken and terrified, fled the farm, leaving it deserted once again. The locals were convinced The land was indeed cursed. The horrifying events had cemented its reputation. The chilling tales were no longer just legends, but a grim reality. The farm stands to this day, a stark reminder of its chilling past. Its fields lay barren, its buildings stand empty, a grim testament to the horrors that unfolded there. It remains shunned by the locals, a cursed land that bears the weight of its chilling legends and horrifying tales. Our final tale brings us to a land believed to be cursed. These tales serve as a chilling reminder of the horrors that can lurk in the most unsuspecting of places. As we draw the curtain on this macabre tour, let's take a moment to revisit the eerie stories we traversed today. We began with the Phantom Scarecrow, a spine-chilling tale of a farmer's scarecrow that took on a life of its own. Then we moved on to the Unseen Beast, a nightmarish account of an invisible creature wreaking havoc on an innocent farmstead. Lastly, we delved into the Cursed Land, a haunting narrative of a farm doomed by an ancient curse. Giving these stories a voice is a journey in itself, a chilling exploration into the hidden horrors that our world may hold. But this journey wouldn't have been possible without your company. Thank you for joining us on this chilling expedition, for braving these tales of terror with us. We are sure you have your own spooky farm tales to share, stories of strange occurrences and inexplicable events. We encourage you to share them with us, to add to our collection of unsettling narratives. Every story, every experience adds another layer to the mystery, another piece to the puzzle. And while we're on the subject of adding, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We have more hair-raising farm horror stories waiting in the wings, more tales of the unknown ready to send shivers down your spine. By subscribing, you'll ensure you won't miss out on any of our future content, any of our journeys into the darkness. Remember, brave souls, the darkness holds many secrets. Join us again as we delve into the unknown. Until then, stay safe and keep the lights on.